Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a daily psychic tarot reading, tuning into the day's energies, seeing what divine messages are there, what guidance, what news we can use. So this is a general reading. I'm not tuning into one person's specific energies. I'm tuning into a group. So take what resonates and leave the rest. If you would like a reading where I tune into your specific energies, your specific questions, any questions, very safe space to find clarity through no judgment. So yeah, it's a nice transformational space if that sounds like something that you're interested in. There's also coaching if you want to develop some of your own skills. So well, let's get started. In the past, we've got the Two of Wands. It's like having this idea that's I feel like this is world changing, definitely changing your world for sure. This feels like a realization that I can change my world. It doesn't feel so. In this image, the person's in their home. A realization like I can take action on this. I can go out into the world differently. Something I'm excited about, something I'm drawn to, passionate about. Yeah. But this person at this stage in the past that had not moved this idea forward other than pondering, dreaming. That was the action was kind of ruminating. It looks like whoever we're tuning into in the past, that they there was a calling and they didn't heed the calling. They've got this idea about this new way of being, but they're not taking action on it, even though it feels like it's more of a calling, like from their soul, from their spirit, calling them to take this action. They didn't come by this accidentally, this epiphany, these ideas. They were divinely guided. But it feels like this person, whoever we're tuning into in this, whether this is you or someone in your environment, it looks like they didn't heed the calling. They, for whatever reasons they had at the time, there's this unwillingness or inability to take the steps, takes the action, trusts that they can become someone else, that they can do things differently. This is someone who's like, this is the way it is for me. And even though they've got that energy inside them, there's still, it feels like fear of the unknown, fear of fear of what you don't know. And you don't know how to become someone you haven't been yet. And so there's a lot of comfort in staying safe, a feeling of comfort, I think, and comfortable, choosing comfortability instead of growth and soul satisfaction. And it didn't work. Everything that they put their energy into, it's energy towards staying in an old energy, staying as an old version of self. It's like being afraid to go in the cocoon to become a butterfly. And so you just stay, you know, all I've known is the caterpillar. I don't trust that I can build the cocoon. I don't trust. It feels very painful to completely change and shift. And so I'm just going to stay a caterpillar. And it's like this old way of being that's caterpillar is just, it's not working. It doesn't work. It's this avoiding their calling, avoiding transformation, avoiding ascension, avoiding consciousness. Because consciousness brings the stability and the security, the stability. Ooh, stability, security, stability. Getting a lot of stability. The real stability that this person is looking for is being willing to express, be an expression, and speak from and take action from that enlightened way of being. Trust. It takes trust. It takes learning how to trust guidance from a different source, not your ego, not from others around you. It's taking orders, the most important orders. It's not orders. You have choice. You have choice. And so you can choose to stay, and there's no judgment here. You can choose to stay comfortable but stuck as a caterpillar that's kind of way past the caterpillar stage. But it's going to be very uncomfortable. Things don't work. It's facing your fears, facing the pain from the past, looking at yourself clearly, seeing yourself clearly. I think that might be the feeling, like the fear, yes, because it's scary after a lifetime of being in the ego and caring more about how you're perceived than how you're really feeling, being very unconscious about how your actions affect others, your words, and then being face to face with that, doing shadow work. It's tough. You've got to learn over and over again how to forgive yourself, learn over and over again how to accept that, yes, people have hurt you and you have hurt people. Maybe unconsciously, maybe not purposefully, but then you can also see where you kind of like didn't care. I mean, it's tough to look at yourself and own shitty behavior. It's not for wimps. It's a tough process. Why would one go through that if it's so tough is because on the other side, you are able to see the wanted aspects of your personality and who you are, and the unwanted, the parts that you've kept hidden from yourself or that you've been trying to hide. Acknowledge, accept. Acceptance brings a space for change. Who would you prefer to be? There's a mastery here, a mastery of self. That an invitation to step into a certain level of mastery, and the bravery that it takes to see that you're not always the good guy. But what's funny is that the evolution takes you to a place where you like yourself a whole heck of a lot more. You love yourself, you like yourself, you start to understand how you hide, how you dodge, how you project. And then once you have that mastery for yourself, you can see your landscape and what pictures people are working from. You can bring that compassion that you brought and that lack of judgment for yourself, that space, and provide it for others who are in process or avoiding process. Not as a way to need to change anybody, but to help anybody out there who is also wanting that change, not creating a gatekeeper of who's allowed to have consciousness or not. Interesting messages. All right. We've got in your present time, death in reverse. So this is someone not changing, not going through that caterpillar to butterfly process, not wanting that death and rebirth. So this seems like this is a reading for about those who are avoiding or ignoring or incapable, unwilling, maybe all of those, maybe a mixture, maybe it changes, unwilling to have this raise in consciousness. It's about a partnership. Partnership where one person is unwilling to raise their consciousness. I feel like this might relate to many of you who have been going through the process of an ascension, an awakening, something different, something weird going on from the inside. And so if your world might feel different, you have new ideas, new directions and new people that you're inspired and aspired to move towards. And someone who's stuck in an inability or unwillingness to change. Oh, can't wait. Okay, a tower. So in present energy, we've got this shocking tower. I feel like the illustration here is giving me a lot of information. Shocking, sudden revelation, new way of seeing things, new, like, oh my gosh. Oh, I can see it now. I can see it clearly. What I like is this, since there's this mask here, it's hitting this person's crown chakra. Like, oh my gosh. It feels like all of a sudden denial, a delusion, denial, just explode. And it's like the truth hits their crown chakra. This is happening for them because I heard it's time to get off the pot. It's time to fit or get off the pot. It's time to get off the pot. It's time to move. It's time to move forward. And take off the mask. The mask is where they've been masking from themselves, masking who they are to others. they've been building on a foundation that is not truthful, and they keep trying to build who they are on a crumbling foundation, on crumbling ideas, crumbling belief systems. This is a big change, an era of change, swift change, fast change. There's something about these two figures that are with usually on the chariot imagery. So there's something about not being able to move forward in their life until they are willing to address what's really on the table, what's really the focus, what's really what they need, it's like, focus here. You're trying to build somewhere that's no longer can take the adjustments. Building on sinking ground. This feels like very powerful energy. Okay. Someone still after a tower, refusing to heal, refusing to see things. Yeah, wow. Boy, this is real stubborn energy. Even after a tower, this person's like, I refuse to change the way I'm perceiving this. Wow. Feels like they're in an unwillingness, inability to perceive things from a different point of view, a broader point of view, is keeping them very stuck. Yeah. It's creating an environment where they feel very, it's kind of like that. What I'm seeing is someone who's staying on a very dark and old timeline where everything is disappearing, and the focus is being taken off this darker, denser timeline. But this person is like, but this is the timeline I know how to work with this. I know the energies, I'm comfortable with this. I don't know that. And to get to the other timeline, I've got to go through such a transformation that is too scary for me. And so this unwillingness to transform, or inability, is creating so much instability, especially in their feminine energy. Not feeling supported, not feeling cared for, not feeling maybe unwell, maybe physically unwell. Abundance is trickling. Like, as this timeline, there's not much going on and being fed. People are hopping on higher versions of timelines when they raise their consciousness. They don't really change the world necessarily. The quantum world, so they hop onto a timeline where the world is that reflection. So it's really about inner change first. And there's this doubling down, very stubborn. I prefer to be miserable. I keep reading the same energy as just nope, not gonna do it. And I mean, I get it. I understand and I empathize, because I remember, and I still have, every time there's a new expansion, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just went through an expansion. Now I'm going to expand again because I know there's contractions. But the thing is, I'm getting used to the process. of expansion and contraction and getting to know myself in this new energy, giving myself a break. This is new. This is big shifts and big changes, and I need to be gentle with myself. I hope you're being gentle with yourself as well. Being gentle and compassionate and give grace to those around you. There we go. That feels a little better. You know, it's not a race. It's not a have to. It's not a got to. This is a free world, free choice. You get to choose your own adventure. I think, though, why I'm tuning into this is so we can have compassion. If you are joining in, chances are you're doing the work, or you're wanting to do the work and understand what that work is of ascension, of becoming more and more yourself. And part of that is not needing people who aren't ready to come with you. This is an evangelical type of work. It's inner work, singular. At least that's where the spring begins. And it's allowing people to move at their own pace. Maybe some of the people that I'm tuning into in this reading, they won't make the change in this lifetime. Maybe they have some more growing to do, and it'll take 2 or 3 more lifetimes, maybe 23 more lifetimes. And that's okay. We are eternal beings, infinite. Yes, we are having this finite, really amazing 3D experience. It's finite, it's limited. That's why it makes it so special, so unique. But you have an eternal life. You are consciousness. You exist. Because you exist, you can't unexist once you exist. So enjoy that space. Don't gatekeep. Allow people, when they transform, as they transform, invite, but it's not necessary. It's not a prerequisite. It might be a prerequisite to get into your space. Not allowing people who are really hurtful, or, you know, you've got to protect yourself, protect your energy, but there's no judgment. I feel like there's this call to an invitation to protect your energy from the energies they're working through, not them. Can you make that difference? Can you feel that relief of I'm not judging them. They're just working through their process. And even if that's stuck in a process, you have been stuck in a process, you understand. And it's harder to make that change if you have people judging you and needing you to make that change, instead allowing and just observing, maybe from a distance. But there's some call to be compassionate and not force people, because it doesn't work anyway. So in the center of your reading, messages from your higher self, aspects of yourself that are in higher dimensions, higher timelines. I'm tuning in, that's the first time I've really said it that way, that I'm aware of, that I remember. And a lot of you are really opening up your consciousness to other aspects of yourself that are on other timelines, in other dimensions. You might experience that as past lives. All we ever have is right now, right here and right now. This is a real quantum conversation. So what you're tuning into is an aspect of yourself that's in another timeline, that it is slower. So you're tuning into a past version of yourself. By tuning into past past lives, future lives, parallel lives. You can gain more information, wisdom that other aspects of you, someone who's totally another version of you with autonomy and free choice. But you can, it's like kind of like an internet, like Google. You can ask out to those higher versions of yourself in other places that have the answer, and they send the answer back. It's interesting. I've never seen it that way. It's like a network. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the fungal network in our earth and our soil. How you can tune into that fungal network, and it's kind of like the nervous system that I'm tuning into. But on a quantum level, tuning into, feeling into, sending energy where it's needed. When you're needing it, you can draw on that source. Wow. All right, cool. So 8 of Wands, messages. Lots and lots of messages coming in from other aspects of quantum aspects of yourself. Jeez. These readings lately have gotten very quantum and large. I wonder if there's some new interests out there or some new people joining. Whatever the case is, dig in this direction. It's very different than the usual readings. So anyway, so 8-8. So this is, we're talking about a reminder again, you're infinite. Another 8, 3 8s showing up. But okay, the messages coming in are in regards to not walking away from something that is emotionally unfulfilling right now. I'm not getting yet if you should, if it's that, you know, you're not walking away from something that's emotionally unfulfilling. That's a problem. Or maybe you're sticking it out, and that, or it's saying, you know, stick it out. It's a, maybe it hasn't changed yet. Let's see what that, see what it is. You're not walking away from something that right now in current energies, as of this reading, is not emotionally fulfilling. You're not really drawn to it, but you're in, it feels like somewhat of a divine partnership. You know, above it talked about a partnership that where one person is doing the work and the other is refusing to change. So again, we've got partnership, but there's choice. There's always choice. There's messages coming in about not walking away from an emotionally unsatisfying partnership. It's something, oh, the message is that I think you have a perspective, a belief that you're going to repeat something negative that's happened, maybe about someone not waking up. Maybe you're afraid of partnership because but the message here is it's not going to repeat. You've moved to a different timeline. It's time to let go of fears that, and what and limitations. It's time to let go of fears and limitations that were happening in your old timeline, unless you want to repeat them. It's different. This is a different landscape energetically. So letting go of those fears, like that's an old fear, that's an old worry. It also feels like you might be very defensive because of being in this connection with someone, or maybe you've been in many connections with having loving people you really love that are not doing the work, that you are having to choose yourself and leave them. Choose your destiny, choose your path. That's what this feels like. And so now the communication is about a new partnerships. It feels like you might be projecting, seeing everybody, or seeing people that are close to you, or there's some type of picture, belief in there that this is repeating again. This is the same thing. And what I'm getting is, the message here is it's not. No matter what you think, it's different. You're not going to repeat. This is going to lead you into, or there's a need to let go of the mental trap, come out of the nightmare. Oh, you've got to come out of the nightmare internally. Not, I'll come out of it when my environment shows me. You've got to create that space within you, that it's safe. It's safe to come out. You're coming out of a nightmare. It might be really affecting your sleep, or it has been affecting your sleep. Your challenge right now is the Three of Cups. This is the Three of Cups. I think, was it yesterday's reading or the day before? Same position. Your challenge is believing, trusting that your soul tribe's looking for you too. Your soul mates are doing the work and looking for you. The people who you are meant to meet up with and experience this wonderful new you in this new life, they're out there. It's kind of like, more and more gathering together, coming together, finding each other, trusting in that, in their own pull, finding people. I'm seeing like synchronicities, just suddenly deciding to go somewhere as, I was going to go later, but I think I'm going to go now. Like getting those type of hits, innocuous day to day, just following those intuitive hits, and noticing and appreciating the people on your path, even if it's someone who's just really wonderful for a few seconds at the grocery store or at work. I think there's a call to appreciate the people who are on your path, instead of being stuck in a picture that there aren't people on your path. Maybe you're waiting for a soul mate, like a romantic soul mate, and all that's showing up are all these soul family and soul tribe, and you're like, yeah, but I want my soul mate. So maybe it's let's appreciate what order. Maybe you've got an idea of what you think the order of what you need. And when it comes to you, instead of trusting and playing, dancing with the energy of the universe and appreciating how it's playing out. Like it's co-creative. It's not you taking control and demanding. It's a play and learning how to play. Let me take one last look here. I've never had such a symmetrical card pool. This does feel so. At the center of your reading is partnerships. So this is about connections. The most important connection being you and how you're connecting with your higher self, connecting with other aspects of yourself that are multidimensional, connecting with finding beautiful connections that are divine. Tower hitting because things don't work. But this tower hitting I'm getting is helping you get out of a nightmare. And lots of messages, lots of new ways of perceiving things. And what's at the exterior, what's leaving, what's the furthest away is the stagnancy, this inability to transform, the stubbornness, being caught in pain cycles, woundedness, hurt people, hurting people, being too afraid to take the next step forward. Those energies are leaving. Wow. Wow, there's a lot of really amazing potential here and a lot of validation for the work that you've been doing. So that's the reading for today. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.